we do. Let's create NXT Tag Team Champions. Woo! My goodness, my goodness. We were live, brother. Are we live? Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
The little red light has come on. We are live, brothers and sisters. We're live. Live as can be, yeah.
All right, the Wrestlebros are back. Jumping in late on Raw. Doing a little live stream.
We're about 2/3 of the way home. But we're gonna bring you to the end. We're gonna get you to the end, boys and girls. Join us. We'll all get there together. 1 minute at a time. We'll all get there. Come and join us. Golly, Bad Bunny. Bad freaking Bunny. Oh, Lordy, have mercy.
Have you been watching though?
I watched. I got to see the segment with Bad Bunny when he gave R-Truth the 24/7 title in exchange for a replica Stone Cold belt. Like, what the?
Well, they had to get out of it. I like how they got out of it.
I
like
listen. There's no good way to have that happen. So whatever. just God dang it! It was awful.
That's literally the best way to get out of that situation.
Oh my goodness. You're
not gonna have Bad Bunny get pinned because then it makes Damian Priest look like a jerk. He's supposed to be protecting him.
I guess so. I mean, listen.
I mean, that's been the whole deal. Damian Priest is basically making sure nobody messes with Bad Bunny, so no one has touched him since he's won that belt. He's never going to defend it.
Miz got to him tonight with the Jeff Jarrett guitar shot, brother, in the back, because we don't do headshots no more. Boom, right in the back, almost as soft as you would hit a newborn baby. And Bad Bunny went down and sold it like he took one of Roderick Strong's backbreakers.
Sounds like good selling to me. if Miz messed up, that's Miz fault.
Oh, God help us. Oh, Lord. Whew. All right, focus. Oh, my God. Bad Bunny. Oh, Lord. Help us all, Bad Bunny. But I'll tell you what, WWE is doing an outstanding job of selling, marketing the whole 316 day. Man, they're jamming that thing down our throat tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably make a lot of money off merch tomorrow. So.
No kidding.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
So we got, now that they're doing the plug here for Fastlane, Roman Reigns with Paul Lee against Daniel Bryan, and either Jey Uso or Edge is going to be the special enforcer. I'm not okay with what they did last Friday night on SmackDown. I got Shane McMahon against Braun Strowman. So you're going to put this match in Fastlane after you basically gave us a match tonight on Raw for free. Good going there, friends.
That's basically what Raw has become. It's like you get all the pay-per-view matches, you get them for free on Raw or SmackDown.
Let's see. Why is this match happening? Why is Bianca and Sasha Banks teaming again against Baszler and Jax? Like, why? Unless the baby faces are going over, there's no reason to have this match. Okay, Cruz against Big E. I want to see that match. I'm hoping that Cruz goes over, because this new gimmick that he's doing, not bad. It's good stuff. Let's see, what else? Sheamus against McIntyre. Okay, all right. I mean, I love both of those guys. I love how physical Sheamus is, and Drew McIntyre has been nothing short of fantastic. Who's this? Oh, my man Riddle, the guy with no first name. He's just Riddle. Riddle me this, riddle me that, Batman. All right, what do we got here? What's he dressed up as tonight? All right, so he's got the orange and blue. So I guess he must be repping one of the New York teams. I'll just call it. I'll just say it's the New York Mets, just because. The original bro. You know the thing about Matt Riddle, and I kind of feel for him a little bit because the way that he won the United States title, I know that they've been really they got the gimmick with the flip flops. Okay, the giant flip flops got to go. Um, but no, it's like with Riddle. Riddle's a good wrestler. It's just a matter that his gimmick is really silly. And working against Mustafa Ali, again, Retribution just has not worked out as a group, as a unit. It just hasn't really worked. But Ali has gotten over as a heel because again, he's such a good talker and he's very articulate and very intelligent. And honestly, I think that this should be Ali's night to win the title.
I don't know about that.
I really would, man. I think this should be his night to win.
I'm not. I'm totally against putting the title on people who are at least good. But if they booked you like crap for 8 months, I wouldn't put the belt on somebody.
Well, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you on this. I'm not because you're right. But in this particular case, and I say this with all due respect to Matt Riddle, but he hasn't been booked much better either. Even if he wins, he hasn't been booked to look as strong. So this is the kind of match where both of these guys that the title actually makes the guy, not the other way around. So this might be a match to where Ali can win, and it's not you're not killing Riddle because of the fact that Ali, Ali has been able to get himself over with his mic work, although the booking hasn't always been the best. I can't say the same for his four compatriots on the floor, though. I can't say the same for them.
I think until you get rid, I mean, I'm sure they might put the belt on him tonight, but I mean, I personally wouldn't. I think Riddle's. I know he does a lot of goofy stuff in the back, but when he won the title, I afterwards I was like, okay, I was excited about that. I'm not. I'd rather them just find a way to break up Retribution.
There's only
Now, if
one,
you put the
there's
belt
only
on
one,
Ali and
there's
that's
only
what they
one way
use
to
to
break
break
up
up Retribution,
retribution. The way that you break up retribution, it's almost like when somebody does something really bad and then nobody talks about it. That's kind of that's a bad analogy to use. Oh, all right. And I mean, this is a good matchup. I mean, both of these guys they size up. I mean, Riddle's bigger, but it's not ridiculously bigger. They match up well. Ali does a lot of the aerial stuff, but he also couples it with good ground wrestling. Boom! Oh wow, big knee. Ali out to the floor, and Mia Yim looks about as she looks completely disinterested at the moment. Even though I will say, man, Mia Yim looks great. She's really been hitting the gym. She looks great. She really does. Thorne, Dijak, and the big guy is Dio Madden. I mean, all three of them look great. It's just a matter that the gimmick is, it kind of is what it is. Right now, Matt Riddle's doing the David Von Erich. But no, that's Kevin Von Erich. Excuse me, Kevin Von Erich is. Oh, and now they're gonna go to commercial break. I'm sure. There it is. Ugh, that's a spot that could have been an injury angle right there. They go to commercial break. Anyway, so for all the people who are watching us, you can find us. We're on Instagram and Twitter at the Wrestlebros. THEWRESTLEBROS. And on this platform here, YouTube, you can find us at the space THE space Wrestlebros. WRESTLEBROS. That is Vic Blaze, and I am Captain Luke. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hope y'all enjoyed your weekend. And here we're enjoying the last hour of Monday Night Raw. We're currently in progress with a match between Matt Riddle and Mustafa Ali for the United States title. All the members of Retribution at ringside. You think in that situation it'd only be fair for Riddle to have a few people make it a pseudo lumberjack match, but it looks like Riddle has no friends.
That's funny because he was actually hanging out with the New Day.
Well, apparently the New Day don't like him that much. They're not out there ringside, but I get it.
Well, they were already in a heated match.
Now, and now that we're here in a commercial break, man, I just wanted to give apologies on Saturday night. I actually wasn't able to join y'all for the live stream with the Impact Wrestling show. I got to see some of it. I haven't seen the whole show yet, so I'm not going to give any opinions on it yet. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a more formalized review of the show. Although I know all the results, but I didn't see all the matches, so. But we know now what the main event's going to be on April 24th. Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega. We should just call it, Impact Wrestling Infinity War. This is where Kenny Thanos Omega starts getting the Infinity Stones. He's gonna snap his finger, turn the wrestling world into dust. Oh, come on, Mick. Get this commercial break finally end. This is like interminable. So Vic, what's up? What have I missed on Raw? I haven't watched the whole show. So what have I missed?
What have you missed? Not much, I'd say.
Well, I mean, listen, it's been 2+ hours. Even if it's not anything exciting, I've missed a lot, at least in terms of content. Whether it was good or not, that's another story.
All right.
Here we go. Back to the match. Ali and Riddle, U.S. title on the line. Mustafa Ali's in control. There it goes. Now Matt Riddle's choking on the rope there. This was a sick spot right here, man. Out to the floor, kaboom. Damn. See, it's weird. Like, spots like that now are very commonplace in wrestling. And like you look at Ali after, wow, Bobby Lashley against Sheamus tonight. That's going to be physical. That's going to be a physical match right there. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, back to Ali here. What I was saying that neck breaker from the apron to the floor, not that particular spots, but spots like that are becoming a little more commonplace in wrestling. And Riddle's doing a great job of selling because he's on the defensive, but Ali's not really selling anything. He's moving around as gracefully as if nothing happened to him. Oh, that's vicious. I like that. Throw the ring skirt on him. Oh, man. Riddle's selling the neck big time. So, for the people who might be joining us in the chat room, man, we're looking forward to any questions. I am all about answering questions as best I can, and I know Vic is too. So just let us know. Let us know what's up. While we
UK is
laugh
Riddle
at
on,
you.
bro. Like your stream from UK.
Sorry, what?
Pull up your. You can see it too. Pull up your chat.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Bro, like you're. No, Riley. I think right now we're actually still in the we're in progress here in the match. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, and a kick out. Boy, referee couldn't fit a sheet of paper between his hand and the mat there. That was pretty close. So here's a question: if Ali's got all his guys on the floor, if he gets in trouble, can he tag out?
Who knows?
I'm just saying we could do like a Freebird rule. Oh no. Okay, that didn't look great. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. What? Oh, that was. Oh, I'm sorry. That was. Well, okay. Well, all right, Vic, help me out here. What the hell kind of finish was that?
This is what it's.
What the hell was that? Like,
This is what's been going on.
that's a bad finish, man.
Look, he shits on his guys every time, and nothing ever comes of it. I feel like I've been seeing this every week for like 3 months.
I mean, eventually, the retribution guys have got to turn on Ali.
What's your reaction to Alexa Bliss's challenge to a one-on-one match
Yeah, I agree.
Sunday?
Because boy, oh boy, is he, man.
To Alexa Bliss challenging me. Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I heard Alexa Bliss state earlier that she.
You know what? Or you know what's funny is that what they need to be asking Randy Orton is, have you gone to see your doctor? Because for the last 3 weeks, every time we see you, you're coughing up black stuff out of your mouth. Have you gone to see your doctor yet? You might have a lung condition. My God. So Riley, my man, how's everything going out there in the UK? Hope all is well, brother. I know it's late night in the UK, man. Thank you for staying up with us. Okay, who's McIntyre wrestling tonight? All right. I have the power. He-Man in the house. All he has to do is paint like half his face and he'd be William Wallace. Damn, yo, McIntyre, boy. You know, it's amazing to me that after he still got the lashes on his back, boy. That match he had last week against Sheamus, whoo, it was rough. I'm sorry, who was he wrestling?
COVID-19 changed our way of life, the way we work, the way we play.
All right. What did you miss? We had We had a promo with Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley
Okay.
and The Miz. Um, I mean, basically, Drew McIntyre saying that he's gonna go face Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, and they're gonna kick each other's asses because they're two big monsters.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah, and then Bobby Lashley would, I guess, Drew started paying attention to Miz. Then Bobby Lashley got his hands on Drew, beat him up for a little bit. Which the first match was gonna be Drew against Miz. So after Bobby Lashley beats up Drew, Miz of course takes advantage and just starts pummeling him. So yeah.
And Sheamus didn't get involved.
Sheamus beat up Lashley at the top of the ramp before the match started.
Hopefully.
So that's the main event.
Lashley. Yo, first off, sorry to yo that suit that MVP's wearing, that is money.
I was digging Lashley's
awesome.
suit. I was really digging Lashley's suit.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it, but I'm sure that if I look at a picture, I'm sure
Lashley looked like $1 million.
Well, I mean,
oh man, he looks good.
Listen, I will say this. You know, when I take a look at the Hurt Business, yo, those custom built suits and all that, yo, listen, it's almost like a modern day take on the Four Horsemen when they would come out in suits all the time, but a matter that the Hurt Business, all of them, I mean, they look like monsters, just all of them. Even Cedric Alexander, who's clearly the smallest one of the group, still looks like a monster. You know, those suits are just incredible. They make them look so good.
Yep. It definitely helps the presentation. Makes them look.
Oh, absolutely, man.
And it doesn't feel. It's like they're four black guys, so they don't really look like the Horsemen, even though they can take some of the Horsemen.
I got it. No, absolutely. No.
So yeah, they wear the cool suits, which is Horseman-like, but it doesn't feel exactly like the Horsemen. It feels totally different.
Oh no,
they can get away with it. It's pretty cool.
Unique. No, it feels completely unique. I mean, I only made the Horseman reference just because.
They come off as the horse. It's like it's exactly what the Horsemen kind of what made them look so cool was the great suits and
you know what?
Presentation.
It's really weird because I say this with all due respect to the Horsemen. The only two people that were able to make it look good were JJ and Flair. For some reason, when Tully wore a suit, like he would wear it well, but it didn't look like it became him. You know, Arn Anderson and Ole were just like, no, that's not their vibe. But with these four guys, yeah, they look like they'd be rocking suits and you know, they be making moves anywhere they go. Mm-hmm. I want to look like those guys when I grow up. I really do. So what's up, people? Let's get these likes up. Let's get some people in the chat room here. Hopefully people ain't sleeping out there. Come on now, wake up with us. Monday Night Raw.
Let me see what else happened.
I will say this: these commercial breaks are interminable.
Yeah, they don't help.
They go on forever. So, well, I guess Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, they're doing a really good job with them, making them a team. So, I guess WWE's, they're sticking with them, allowing them to work as a team. They dress alike. They're starting to look alike a little bit, but just a little. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, WrestleMania. All right. Oh, man, Phillips' suit looked nice. Joe looks very relaxed up there. Looking like Joe's like, I ain't wearing no tie. Okay, earlier tonight. So, all right. New Day versus the Hurt Business. Was this a good match between New Day and the Hurt Business? I'm sure it was.
It was really good, but it feels like...
Wow.
Yeah, that's
they won the titles?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to discuss this.
Please don't tell me that now AJ and the big man Omos are going to challenge.
Yes. um, which
Whammy.
I have some thoughts on it. I have some thoughts on it. I'm not
Oh
100%
my
against
god!
it. Under
Wow.
normal circumstances, I'm not 100% against it. The problem is I don't trust them afterwards. That's always my problem. It
Well,
has potential, but are they going to execute properly? I don't know.
here's the thing, right? New Day. Listen, Woods and Kofi are a fantastic team. We all know about AJ Styles. And listen, Omos doesn't have to be a great worker. Omos can just stand there and do power moves and whatever have you. It's a matter that in a situation like this, if they're going to put let's just presume that Omos and AJ would go over and be the champions. That doesn't exactly taste like a hearty plate for me. No, I'm not exactly too in love with that idea.
Sparks flying. Now I'm gonna make a guarantee right now.
There's Drew McIntyre cutting his promo.
Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
What's the most dangerous move in wrestling?
Get excited about this. I can barely get the words out.
James,
Feel it right now.
do you mean dangerous for a shoot? Or do you mean like dangerous as in the way it's perceived or the way it's protected?
What's the most dangerous move in wrestling? It's called the eraser.
Lou, for real, what's the most? All right, let's say story or whatever on the shows, on the different shows that we watch. What are some of the most dangerous moves in terms of the way they are protected, executed? Like, if this was a real thing, what is the most dangerous move in wrestling? I have two in mind.
I mean, I know the one that I don't like people using, period. I don't like people using the poison rana. I just don't like it. I think it's dangerous, like can hurt somebody for real.
Okay, but we're talking about the ones that, not the ones that you think can hurt somebody for real. If wrestling were real, what is the most dangerous move?
I mean, if in terms of how the moves are protected, I know that as much as I'm not a fan of Kenny Omega, AEW's done a fantastic job of protecting the one-winged angel.
Yeah, that's one that comes to mind for me.
WWE's done a great job with Drew McIntyre with the Claymore. Nobody kicks out of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bobby Lashley right now, when he hits you with the full Nelson, or one of those. I mean, the spear that he hits is not exactly. This entrance video looks really, really good. Damn. And you know what? That picture of Bobby Lashley is not an exaggeration. That's the way he actually looks.
Yeah, same size and everything. Yeah, I think in terms of the way it's protected, the one-winged angel, but the one that when I see it, I'm going, man, if this was ever to be hit for real, it'll kill somebody. To me, is like a curb stomp. Curb stomp will probably murder somebody if they
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
That would not be that's not allowed in MMA for a reason.
Well, of course. Look at that suit. Yo, I'll tell you what, MVP's pulling that suit off smooth. And look at it. Instead of rocking the crutch, he's got the homage to Slick with the cane going. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. P's looking smooth. Now, okay. I didn't think that this was Bobby Lashley's turn to be in the ring, but I guess he's a WWE champion. Who's going to tell him not to? I thought that Lashley was going to wrestle against Sheamus.
Yeah, I'm confused right now. For sure. I'm confused. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I missed something. I wasn't paying attention.
Because I saw the graphic. But I will say though, man, I'm really happy to see Lashley in this spot. It's just a matter that, in all honesty, I really wish that McIntyre was the champion right now, and Lashley would have been chasing him at WrestleMania.
No,
because we could realistically, I would have been okay with much better with having Lashley, beat Drew McIntyre, even if he needed a little bit of help, to give McIntyre an out.
well, I'm okay with the way it is now. I don't necessarily love how they got there, but I'm okay with this situation now because I want people to think that Drew McIntyre is gonna beat Lashley at Mania and then them not do it, and that'll be great. They probably will do it. They probably will beat Lashley at Mania, but then it's just a rush storyline, isn't it? Because
to me, I'm not a big fan of how this is how it's developing, because it almost seems like this match, as weird as it sounds, this match it feels a little less important than it should be. And I think it's because of the nature of how Lashley won the title. And that's not meant as a shot to the Miz. It's just a matter that it would have made more sense to have McIntyre be the one to do, that does the honors.
all right, so from earlier we had Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose face Lana and Naomi.
Two babyface teams?
Yes, and I think this is the number one contendership match. You had Nia and Shayna out there on commentary. Wow. And this was fairly easy win for Mandy and Dana. So nothing crazy.
I'm presuming they beat Lana?
They pinned Lana, yes.
Okay.
Which was fine.
That's the right thing to do.
I mean, to me, it's not the right thing to do. If all things are, yes, it's the right thing to do now, but they were giving Lana, they had a chance to give Lana a nice little push, a nice little story, and they completely messed that up when they put it through a table 74 times and never paid it off until it was too late. And then when they paid it off, it wasn't great.
No, when they paid it off, the only person who got over was Nia Jax. My hole.
Exactly.
She's the one who got over, not Lana. Lana did not get over. I mean, yeah, you know what? It's like sometimes I feel for Lana. I do, because listen, she works hard and she really tries, but at the same time, part of me is a little reticent that in this environment, meaning the way that the WWE, how good their women's roster is overall. I don't know if Lana fits in from a wrestler's perspective, although she tries very hard. But it almost seems like she's like that square peg you're trying to put in a round hole, and
Well, to me, she's looked fine. I mean, she hasn't been in there with anybody I'd like to see her in there with somebody a lot better than a Nia Jax. We've only seen her with Nia Jax 45 times. So I'd like to see her in there with a Sasha, with Charlotte, with Bayley, with Natty, in a one-on-one.
Didn't she work with Natty for I think they were on the same team though, but
they were working on the same team. But I want to see a one-on-one match. I want to see what Lana can really do. I want to see a fair chance. Because who knows?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Part of me I want to be fair to her, because again, she does work hard and she does try. It's a matter that again, it always feels off, and again, it's not her fault. It's just a matter that she's in one of these weird positions where we know that she's popular and put in the right circumstance, and unfortunately for her, it's like, unless she was paired with Miro, Rusev, when he was in the WWE, it almost seemed like any other iteration of how Lana was presented ultimately falls flat, with the best intentions, because there's always the best intentions at heart, but it just doesn't seem to work out in the end. It's just, and part of it is too, is that when I look at Lana, I'm like, she really tries, but part of me is, I just kind of be like, it's hard. I don't buy it. And I know that she's trying, and I know that she works hard, but I just don't buy it ultimately. And I think that's something that you can see, Okay, we got the fast lane gimmick here. All right, so now Drew McIntyre just left.
All right, so I
Yep.
guess Drew's out
Oh, there
here
it is.
to watch. Okay.
You know, Drew. There's such a thing as a monitor, friend. You can just sit in the locker room and watch it. But anyway, first off, to see Bobby Lashley just pick up Sheamus like a sack of potatoes. Yeah. Nice try there, John Cone. God bless you. You ain't gonna be able to get between those two guys. He just Sheamus just ripped off the guy's microphone pack off his pocket. Poor John Cone. Yo, I got a feeling that John
be a
Cone.
no contest. I get a no contest vibe coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This match is gonna be bowling shoe ugly, and I love it because I'm a big fan of the way that Sheamus wrestles, man. There's nothing pretty, zero finesse. He's just there to beat you down. Oh wow, watch out now. And Bobby Lashley he's just been money and MVP. You know, I guess MVP was watching the HBO show Ballers, you know, when he was thinking about the Hurt Business. Get the best talent in the world, rock the smooth suits. All they needed the fast cars, man, and it's all there. And Drew McIntyre's just sitting there calmly watching, reacting to nothing. And you know what's weird, right? Look at Sheamus is a big man, and he looks small standing next to Lashley. And Sheamus is a big man. I mean, Bobby Lashley, for his height, for his size, look at all the muscularity on that guy. I mean, that is just the one thing, though, is that Bobby Lashley sweats profusely, but you know, it's like, you know, he got like a leaky faucet going on once he start wrestling.
There are some athletes in the world that just think about Shaq. Shane McMahon sweats profusely.
Oh my God, yes. After about the first, give him about 2 or 3 minutes into the match, boy, the faucet starts to open up. But I mean, think about it though. When you take a look at a guy like Bobby Lashley, how much weight is he carrying around? That's like what, 270 pounds, give or take?
I mean, I know when he was a fighter, I thought he'd easily be at that 265, but he was actually like 247. He's probably 255 for a shoot, and you can say that he's 275 on television.
Well, hell, I'll buy it. 275, I'll buy it with you, of course.
He looks. The thing is, like me, for instance, I carry a lot of. For some reason, I'm a lot heavier than I look. I'm like 35 pounds heavier than I look. These guys are twice my size, and I outweigh them by 50 pounds sometimes. It makes no sense. But it is what I mean.
I'll tell you, these guys.
I think it's a body fat. They have no body fat, like very low body fat, so they don't have to worry about that extra weight.
Yeah, you look at Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley body fat is like, I mean, you're talking like somewhere in that 2 to 4%. Not maybe
under 10.
Well, I'd say like 4 to 6% range probably is where he's at.
Well, it's hard to get 4 to 6, but yeah. I could see. I say less than 10. I say less than 10 for sure. He's really shredded.
10%. Forget about it. I said 4 to 6 because I didn't want to give him 2% because I thought that was,
No. Well, no, he's probably not 4 to 6. Like that's bodybuilder level right there. That's like if I think of WWE, somebody who might be in that 4 to 6 is probably maybe Cesaro. But you see, for Cesaro to be that lean, he has to walk around at 230.
And the thing about it is that even at 230, and I believe him that he's 230, but in all honesty, he looks smaller because he's
next to all these guys who carry a lot of muscle. He decides not to, but if you see him in person, he looks insane.
Oh no, I'm sure
these guys are just so thick. Some of these guys are just, and Cesaro's tall too. So
yeah, Cesaro's like
he's probably 6'5".
Yeah.
6'4". I seen him in person, man. He was right in front of me, and his back is as wide as a house. and all you see is veins and muscles poking out of his back. And it's insane.
So if I was to ever meet him, I might joke around. Hey Claudio, can I play a movie on your back, bro? Watch out now. Oh mama. Hey, look at MVP. Like, whoa. Damn. Yeah, I still can't get over that suit. That suit looks amazing. MVP's got the right idea. Listen here, Playboy. You better go get Sheamus. And now we're back to this interminable commercial break. All right. Interminable commercial breaks.
Yeah, so back to that AJ Styles Omos thing.
Yes, sir.
So when they first come out, I'm like, well, when the New Day first went, I'm like, well, they're like doing hot potato with these damn, like it feels like the Hurt Business had the belt for a while, right?
Well, they've had it for a couple of months, but
it feels fast though. It feels like nothing was accomplished.
And here's the unfortunate part about that, right? The reason why you feel that way is because they were not presented as dominant champions. I mean, there was a time when, you know, they were losing matches to Lucha House Party because Shelton Benjamin and Cedric were beefing with one another. Then it appears like they got them on the right page. And listen, with all due respect to the New Day, right? Because this is not a shot at Kofi, it's not a shot at Woods. But, you know, I mean, they're 11-time tag team champions. Like, I mean, at some point you have the equity to lose. You know what I'm saying? Do the heels need to cheat? The answer is yes. Because, you know, they're not going to beat you flat, but at the same time, you know, keep the belts on the heels, give them a reason to give you a rematch. Because it feels like when you look at the Hurt Business, I'm upset about the fact that they've been presented, and I know that, listen, Shelton and Cedric have not been presented the same way Bobby Lashley has, by no means. But good enough to where they could be tag team champions and defend the titles at WrestleMania. So where you have the New Day win and now they're defending the titles with all due respect. I mean, I'm not saying that AJ and Omos are a makeshift team because Omos has been AJ's bodyguard for the last little bit, but Omos has never wrestled. His interference in matches have been in very, very specific and, for lack of a better term, very simple spots. So where he doesn't have to do much. Now you're talking about putting him in WrestleMania in a tag team title match, and I understand AJ's a workhorse and can be able to work the whole match by himself if needed. But part of me, I don't get it. Like part of me thinks that, and again, all due respect to the New Day, but AJ Styles should be in a more prominent match at WrestleMania than this.
Yes, okay. So that was one of my thoughts. Is well, sheesh. Why are we not doing more with AJ? Not that working with the New Day is a bad thing, because the New Day is a really important act, and they are one of the more popular acts, point blank, regardless, tag or singles.
Yes, yeah.
But this is out of nowhere. That's one. It's not earned. That's another one. But okay, let's see. Looking into the future, what is the purpose of this? Okay, if you're telling me the point of this match is to introduce Omos, and this is going to be the first time we see him wrestle, and he's actually better than we hope, right? Because we don't know. We have no clue what it's.
No, we haven't. We don't have any idea.
He can easily be, great, right? He can easily have a great performance, and all of a sudden we have a new star. So if the plan is, okay, we're going to put him in there with three of the best, because they are all great workers. So, okay, he's in there with AJ. AJ's basically the guy who's going to guide his career, which is definitely the plan when they put them together. There's no other reason than learn as much as you can from AJ Styles, who's arguably one of the best workers of the last 15, 20 years.
Stand over the learning tree.
Yeah, so it's
not sit under it, stand over it. Now you see, get it? No, nothing.
Stand over because yeah, okay, I got it. But yeah, so if the plan is Omos is gonna dominate and he's gonna have a good performance, hopefully, and eventually maybe he turns on AJ a year down the road, and it leads to him being this major star, then maybe it's worth it. If that's the plan, and if they have it laid out, but my concern is that they don't have a plan, and they just thought, damn it, we forgot about AJ. Just throw him in with the New Day. That's a big match. That's my concern. I hope it's more to establish this kid, this giant man with, a 7-footer who can be maybe the next. He's as big as the Big Show, if not bigger.
Well, he's taller. I mean, that's
Taller. So if he can be your next Big Show type character for the next 10 years, it's worth the investment. So let's see if
listen.
he's good. We'll find out.
I'll tell you what. Omos has the size, that's for sure.
He's got the presence too. He's got a presence.
Well, yeah. Listen, he does. I'm not going to say that he doesn't, because if he didn't have it, he wouldn't be there. But at the same time, and again, it's just time and experience. It's a matter that sometimes, again, if Omos didn't look the way he did, he wouldn't be. Oh, damn! Bobby Lashley damn near broke the turnbuckle pad, or the corner post there.
Remember how bad Strowman was, and look how good he is. I mean,
they've
messed up his booking, but
yes, but part of it, and I will say this: this is where WWE will miss the Big Show not being on their roster, because Show really helped Strowman develop and taught him how to work like a big man. And yes, with Strowman, his booking has really been, and especially tonight, what we saw was like, Shane McMahon was able to, and yes, he used the camera and he beat him down. And I just kept laughing watching it, because I was like, if I know that if I got hit over the head with with presumably a 40-pound camera, I would be bleeding. So, and I get it. I know blood is a no-no in WWE, but and then Shane dumped him with the Nickelodeon slime. I don't understand what that gimmick was all about, but
you know what? That makes me wonder if they have a partnership with Nickelodeon for WrestleMania, because who was doing it recently? Oh, the Super Bowl, right? They had some Nickelodeon. The Super Bowl was airing on where?
CBS.
It was also airing on Nickelodeon for the kids, and they had Nickelodeon features. Like they would show the replay, and there'd be slime and stuff for kids on the screen.
I didn't know that.
So, was the Super Bowl on what channel was the Super Bowl? Do you remember?
CBS.
Okay, so it's not NBC. So it's not an NBC thing, but who knows? They might have some sort of Nickelodeon agreement to air WrestleMania, during the way Super Bowl did, because Super Bowl did it.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, I mean, because CBS and then Nickelodeon are part of the same, they're part of the same family, the Viacom family. So.
Yeah. So if besides that, I can't think of why the hell he would have slime. Why is there any slime on the premises?
In two big white buckets underneath the ring.
It's like, what's the point? What's the point of slime?
I don't know. I'm watching Sheamus make his comeback. I mean, this is exactly what I thought the match would be. Very physical, and I'm enjoying it.
Sheamus, you know what you're gonna get from Sheamus, and
I love it. And I love it.
He's probably the best at this style.
I mean,
he's pretty consistent with this style. The matches are always entertaining.
I mean, I'm a huge fan. Like, Sheamus is not my favorite guy, but man, I love watching him wrestle or fight, because every time you watch him in the ring, he looked like he's in a fight. And I love it. And especially when oh damn, all right. Oh hell. Now what Sheamus needs to do, right? He needs to take his other arm and grab Lashley by the chin and pull him up and knot him like a pretzel, boy. He'd be tapping like a drum if he does that. I don't think Sheamus is strong enough to do that though, because Bobby Lashley's a big dude. That's a big man right there. Oh, excuse me. There's that size 14 right in the chest. Oh my, down he goes. Get down there, John Cone, too. No. Boy, Bobby Lashley breathing heavy. That makeup in his eyebrows is starting to go away. Boom. Man, he almost knocked the beard off of Sheamus with that one. Man, I'm sure if you was to see the sweat stains in the mat, right now. Holy smoke. Boom, big boot by Sheamus off the ropes. Here we go. Oh, went for the bro, got nothing. Bobby Lashley would have a hard time putting that full Nelson on Sheamus, though. Sheamus is thick in the upper body. Sheamus going to get to the ropes. No, kick out of two. Yeah, to think, man, Bobby Lashley, 45 years of age, bro.
He's 45?
45 years of age.
That's crazy.
Yo, that man looks just the same when he was 25.
He literally has not changed a bit.
Nope, not one single bit. Hasn't grown any hair, hasn't gotten any body fat on him. Bam. The only thing that he's gotten, I will say this, he's gotten much, much better in the ring. Well, obviously with time and experience, when you're as athletic as Lashley, you can't get any worse than when you start. You know.
If no one's gonna do it, I'm gonna be the one to do it. This Lashley's in ring started getting really good when he started working his TNA run, not his most recent run, which actually he worked with Drew, he worked with EC3, Kurt Angle, he worked with a bunch of guys and had a Bobby Roode. That run he had there, that's when I started seeing, oh snap, Lashley can work. Lashley has gotten good. I don't know when it clicked exactly, but that's when I noticed it.
No, listen, Lashley. I mean, obviously, again, everything is about time and experience. When he was in the WWE the first time around, he was a big, strong dude, but he didn't have enough experience. And the thing is, it kind of sucks because when you're as damn, that might be the finish right there. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. Down he goes. Sheamus goes down to the spear. Now Bobby Lashley peering over at his WrestleMania opponent. Bam. Lashley just hit him with the football tackle. Bam, down he goes. Knocked the wind out of the Irishman. Well, McIntyre's he's not gonna let that go unanswered. Oh, here we go. Full Nelson. Now is McIntyre gonna go in and help Sheamus?
Good question. We'll find out.
Well, Lashley dropped Sheamus. Oh man, that was. Well, McIntyre got the last word, and it didn't really look that good, to be honest with you. Lashley didn't take that very well. Yo, this is like an on again, off again, love fest these two guys have here. All right. So you got ourselves a little bit of Monday Night Raw action there. Yeah, man, I have to admit I was a little disappointed with the Matt Riddle Mustafa Ali match. Forget about the result. I mean, even if Matt Riddle won, that's fine. It almost looked like It almost looks like they were told to go home, very quickly because that match looked like it just kind of ended. They did some quick sequence and got out of there.
Yeah, it was a. Yeah, it ended abruptly.
But yeah. So I mean, right now, we'll see what we do. Vic and I will get together. We'll do a formal review here of the Impact Wrestling show, and I guess we're gonna preview some more good stuff here for pro wrestling. It looks like right now words coming through that NXT will be making the move to Tuesday nights on beginning on April 13th. It looks like they're gonna be making the move.
April 13th.
April 13th, the Tuesday after WrestleMania. It looks like that's when the move is gonna be made. Looking forward to that because I'm sure that at that point, Impact Wrestling will be making the move out of Tuesday nights. They'll go elsewhere, but it'll be fun. Let's see what happens now when both shows are standing on their own without the competition there. Let's see what happens. I mean, right now they're showing Young Rock here on the USA Network, but we're not going to talk about that. If you want to watch, I've actually not watched it, so I have no opinion of it. I'm sure it'll be funny and entertaining, but I haven't watched it.
It's pretty good. Um, I mean, for one, it's like a sitcom, so it's just really simple, but you get to see some cool stuff. Like they did, I'd say, a decent job. Some of them are not great, but usually when you get, especially in wrestling, when you see other people like actors portraying wrestlers, it's usually not good.
Speaking of, here we got Rocky Johnson. Really, that's Ric Flair.
Exactly, like the Ric Flair is not great,
That guy looks like Buddy Landell.
but yeah, I'm not a fan so far on that show. I'm not a fan of the Ric Flair. I'm not a fan of the Vince McMahon, and I'm not really a fan of Randy Savage. But imagine how difficult,
No, that's
because
no,
Randy
that's that.
Savage is such a character, and it feels like Randy Savage is playing this himself. It's like this weird character. So anyone who does it is gonna be like, "Oh, you're just making fun of it, or you're doing what we all did when we were kids."
Yeah,
We all have a Randy Savage impersonation, so it's like it's
yeah.
gonna look weird regardless. You can't nail it.
I'll tell
You
you
have
what
to
though,
make it so subtle.
the woman who's playing the role of the Rock's mother looks a lot like her.
No, they did a good job. The young rocks, I can buy it. There's three of them, three different ages, three different age groups. I think college, high school, and then when he was like, I think maybe an 8, 10 year old, something like that, small boy. Um, they got a great Sheik in my opinion, a great Andre in my opinion, a Wild Samoan, great. His dad, Rocky Johnson, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, I'm
So,
looking at the Rocky Johnson right now. I mean, obviously he's smaller, but I mean, Lord, those guys were on steroids, so
well, yeah, that's not fair. But you know what? The kids that are playing, a younger Rock, like the college one, he's a pretty good shape. He's in really good shape. He looks like he's got some size on him, so they did a good job finding him. Um, the Sheik is jacked. So they got
does he do the accent?
he's pretty good. He's pretty
Does he
good.
do Sheiky Baby? Does he do
It's good
Sheiky
enough for
Baby
me.
accent?
It makes me happy.
Okay.
So I enjoyed the Sheik. I enjoyed Andre. Who else have they shown? They showed a bunch of guys. Um, yeah, the Wild Samoans is a great one.
I
Um,
find Sika.
his dad is probably my favorite. 'Cause I could just, it feels so real. It feels so believable that his dad would be like that. Vince, I was not a big fan of the Vince character. It's almost Vince is another one. His character is it's too over the top to begin with. So to find an actor to try to redo it, it's going to be very difficult. That's gonna be the problem when they do the Hogan movie. Even though they got a good actor to do it, it's gonna be hard because he's so over the top and he has so many details to his character.
First of all, I love this commercial here with the Dikembe Mutombo. Boom. I love that commercial. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make it a point to watch, to watch Young Rock and really get it, and start watching it because I know it's wrestling based. It's just a matter that I just haven't really given it a try, for no real reason. I just haven't given it a try.
Yeah, it's basically he's running for president, and he just starts telling stories from his past.
El presidente.
So yeah, so he's just going back and reflecting how he got to this moment. So
Nice.
pretty good. For what it is, just a sitcom. So it's nothing. It's not meant to be anything crazy. But if it's all true, then it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of embellishment, but that's called creative liberty.
Well, over the years when Rock has done interviews and stuff, people have brought up like he's told crazy stories about his past when he was a kid. He did this and this happened to him, and so he was a wild kid. So he was a wild kid.
That's why he got into the wild world of professional wrestling.
Exactly.
That ain't for normal folk.
What a better place. I was trying to make my own WrestleMania card, and I was working on it. Maybe you can give me a second. Let me find my list. Let me see if I find it.
And again, while Vic goes to find his list, you can find us at the Wrestlebros, Twitter, Instagram, TheWrestleBros. Here on YouTube, you can find us. Check out the archives. We are on at the space Wrestlebros, WrestleBros. I am Captain Lou, and the empty square next to me at some point will be Vic Blaze. But we're hoping that you can be able to join us. We've been seeing subscriptions going up, every day. Our subscriber numbers have more than quadrupled, over the last 2 to 3 months. So we're extremely pleased and very grateful and blessed for all of you guys' love and support. So we just hope that we can continue. Right now we're just here to put on fun content for you guys. Hope you like it, and keep subscribing. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your dog. We're here at the Wrestlebros. We're here to entertain you. Hopefully you guys are having a good time with it. Right now, I know that Vic and I, we just finished watching Monday Night Raw live. We were, chatting here, amongst ourselves, and now I'm awaiting here for Vic to give us his his presentation of the current card for WrestleMania that he would like to see. We were just chatting about Young Rock in terms of that particular program. I don't really have much of an opinion about it, only because I haven't watched it. So I'll make it a point to give it a shot and watch the episodes, and maybe if you like, we could be able to review them. You let us know in the comment section. Hit us up, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. And again, we're continuing here. I know that Vic was with you guys on Saturday night, watching the TNA Sacrifice show on Fight TV Impact Plus. And again, good. It seems like it was a good show for the folks at Impact Wrestling, but it's a matter of, again, I will sit down and watch the show at some point, be able to give it a real honest review. And hopefully the next time Vic and I get together, we'll be able to do that and present it for you guys, so that we can be able to show you the review of what we thought of that particular show. So again, Instagram, Twitter at the Wrestlebros. TheWrestleBros. And on YouTube, we are at the THE space Wrestlebros, WRESTLEBROS. And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome back the one, the only, Vic Blaze.
I couldn't find a list.
Oh, Vic. Oh, that was so disappointing.
I put it in my jacket inside pocket. I don't know what happened. Anyway, how about we just play around a little bit for a couple of minutes, try to come up with something. How's that sound? You got time?
I mean, I got a few minutes here. I know that I got to be signing off here momentarily, but yeah, let's see what we got here.
All right. Well, first, do you keep Edge and Roman? I think I would. Do you add Daniel Bryan?
I do not. I don't like the idea of that being a triple threat match because part of me feels that what WWE is trying to do there is that they're trying to play both sides to the middle, meaning if they're going to take the title off of Roman Reigns, they want to do it without beating him, and that's just not good. If you're going to put the belt on somebody else, that person needs to beat Roman Reigns. And if WWE is not ready to pull that trigger, then they need to have Roman Reigns beat Edge. Plain and simple. So no. And listen, I love Daniel Bryan, but no, he doesn't belong in that. He doesn't belong in that picture. Sorry, he doesn't.
All right. Do you keep the Lashley Drew McIntyre match going?
Yes. It's just a matter that I've already said this before. I would just have McIntyre come in as the champion. That's and again, it's just because I don't like the idea. I guess for me, the idea of Bobby Lashley possibly going into WrestleMania to drop the title, because if he wins, how can I say this? If he wins, it doesn't feel as impressive only because of the fact that the match, the way that it's been put together, is not very good. And if McIntyre wins, you're like, damn it, we did all this work with Lashley to kind of, have him be champion for a month and then drop it to McIntyre. So yes, I like the match. I just would have McIntyre come in as the champion and have him lose to Lashley at WrestleMania.
Okay. What do you have any ideas for AJ? I mean, we know what they're probably going to do now, but before today, if you had it your way.
Now AJ's on Raw.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what I think I would have did with AJ was take the same Shane McMahon storyline, but have AJ kind of weasel himself in it and kiss a little bit of ass to Shane and go, yo, I can take care of this because I have insurance here. Have AJ go against Strowman, right?
I don't know.
And but with that being the way to introduce Omos by him taking out Strowman.
Okay.
At the end of that match, that's his introduction.
I guess. I mean, part of me would. The reason why is because part of me wants to see AJ Styles. AJ would have probably worked. It would have been a perfect quote unquote inter-brand match. Just have him work against Kevin Owens because I think that would have been a very, very good match. I like your idea though.
You want a work rate match, don't you?
In this instance, yes, only because
I don't
like the idea of AJ Styles, because again, if AJ is an intelligent heel, it seems odd that he would throw himself in a match. And although yes, the premise of Omos makes sense, but for him to put himself in a situation against Braun Strowman, who could possibly kill him, I get your premise, and your premise makes sense.
Well, he's not doing it for free. There's a world championship opportunity.
I guess so. That's really again, it just kind of feels like with AJ Styles, AJ can work a great match against anybody. And again, to put him in a tag in the way that it looks like they're going to put him in Omos against the New Day, it appears that's what's going to end up happening.
Yep.
Again, I'm not in love with it because just as you said earlier, it's thrown together. It's not earned. It's doing it for the sake of, and that's something that at the end of the day, it just doesn't sit well with me. But again, WWE has 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Look, it's Rocky Johnson versus Roddy Piper. Okay. Well, that's a hell of a drop kick there by Rocky Johnson. Anyway, but yeah, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with
right.
that.
What? And this is if it was up to you, how would you book Bray Wyatt? I had no idea. I don't want to see the Randy match. And then after that, I was like, shit, I have no idea what to do.
Well, here's where the issue lies, right? I'm okay with the Fiend not being on WrestleMania. I'm okay with him not being on the show.
Yeah, on my card, I actually remember what I did. I actually had, when I was making my card, I was doing it, had this year basically not happened, right? And I was booking it however I wanted. So I had Killer Cross actually on the main roster, and I had him going against Orton. And then after that match, I had the Fiend showing up after the match. That would be his appearance. So, because I couldn't find the match for the Fiend, and I didn't want to find the match for the Fiend.
I don't want to. Listen, with the Fiend again, it's like it's in this. It's so weird because I think that the Fiend is probably the closest thing as a television personality character in the WWE to what the Undertaker was when Undertaker first made the move from heel to babyface back in 1992. That the difference is that at the time WWE, they were able to do a better job with the Undertaker in terms of turning him babyface without really having to change him at all. It's just a matter that now instead of him beating up the heels, beating up the baby faces, he was beating up the heels. And the fans were already they were already wanting to cheer him. Like the Undertaker, nobody was booing him anymore. The fans just loved him because he was a big badass and he was killing everybody. With the Fiend, if you're going to turn the Fiend babyface, you can't really do it with the with the crowd sweetened audience. It almost feels like there has to be like an organic turn. And just with the Fiend, I think that it makes sense to have him not be around. And it's weird because, and I'm saying this knowing that it'll never happen and it should not happen. So I'm saying this based on this premise. But in all honesty, the thing that needs to bring the Fiend back is having Randy Orton get his hands on Alexa Bliss and hurting her. Because again, Alexa Bliss, being the mouthpiece, being the representative, and then being a woman, if you're going to turn the Fiend babyface for real, now you gave him a reason to do it. And I know that the premise is, hey, Randy Orton burned him to death or whatever, but it almost seems like if they was to do that, now you're giving the Fiend a real reason to come back. And again, this should not happen and it will not happen. I'm just saying that there's a part of me that's a little just trying to figure out exactly why this would happen and how do you get there. And the thing is with the Fiend is that I'm okay with the Fiend not being at WrestleMania. And unfortunately for somebody like Randy Orton to not be in a program, to not have a big match lined up for WrestleMania at this stage of the game, boy, that's shameful. It's just shameful, man.
I'm sure he is going to face the Fiend most likely. And there's 2 nights of WrestleMania, so he's definitely getting a match. So you don't have.
That's what I'm saying. But at this stage of the game, to not have something, something clear, to have something.
Well, Maybe they just don't want to do the back and forth with the Fiend for 5 straight weeks on television. They're just gonna wait till there's 2 weeks left and do the angle and then go straight into WrestleMania. Or maybe they're not gonna do it. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Who knows?
Well, let's see. All I know is that at this stage of the game, it's a little, it's a little alarming to me to see that there isn't, that the card isn't a little more fully fleshed out. It just kind of seems like they're still working on it. And there's something off about that.
Yep. This is not what I expected at all. And
the reason why this is a little troublesome for WWE is because if you're going to have 2 nights of WrestleMania, you're going to be able to get a live audience, and it seems like it's going to be a sizable audience, which is also alarming in and of itself. Because I'm like, listen, if the WWE shooting to try to have 45,000 people there each night, I'm like, that might be bad PR there, friends. Listen, take what you can get, but don't get greedy, kind of thing. You understand? Like, if you have 20,000 people, or yes, the more the merrier, kind of thing. But let's be realistic here. About COVID-19. So part of me kind of feels like that could be they might be getting a little greedy in terms of wanting to have the size of the audience there. Because if WWE is able to do that with WrestleMania, that's going to send a sign to all the different entertainment franchises, not just pro wrestling, but different sports leagues and all these other people, that hey, it's okay to come back. And I'm like, that may not be the best message or the correct one to send out. But
I don't know if any team had 40-something thousand in the stands during the NFL season.
No, they couldn't. They couldn't get that many people.
I don't know what was the biggest crowds, but nothing happened. So
that we know of.
Hey, it's fine with me. If that, whatever. Maybe something happened, and I don't know how they kept it, from getting out, whatever. But
listen, I'm okay. I'm okay if people can come back and keep it safe and all. But when you're talking about a stadium, out in Tampa that realistically can seat about 65 or 70,000 people, and you're trying to fill it with 40.
Well, I'm sure it fits more than that.
No, the dimensions of the stadium, that's what it seats. It's not as many as we think. It's probably about 70,000. But if you're able to get 45, that means you're running at about 60-70% capacity at that point. Then get a little dicey.
Well, it'll be a good test. If the numbers spike, then no one else should do that. If the numbers don't spike,
well, listen, I get it, but at the same time, again, with WWE being a publicly traded company, those are things that they need to be mindful of. They don't need to be the first ones to get there. That's really what it's getting at. They don't need to be the first ones to get there.
Hey, they know more about business than I do, so I'm not going to tell them how to do that part.
No,
that's the one thing they're actually good at. So I'm not gonna question them on that. But my last, before I let you go, I could not for the life of me find something good for Bayley to do, and that made me so sad. So sad.
Ding dong, something's wrong. Ding dong, hello, something's
this was
wrong.
My 2020 female wrestler of the year.
I mean, and if you want me to be honest with you, the person who would probably be the best matchup for her would probably be Rhea Ripley, but Rhea Ripley she's not going to be working her. Oh wow, I just saw here the Wild Samoans. Yeah, you're right. Alpha and Sika do look good. These actors are good interpretations.
Yeah. Alpha and Sika, they look great.
Yeah, they really.
They're funny too. They made them pretty funny.
But there's something off about Bayley not Yeah, no, there's something terribly off about Bailey not having a match.
Yeah, and I mean, we know as far as I can tell, we know that Becky probably won't be back for another 3 or 4 months. I mean, anything can happen, right? Because some people like getting their asses back to work. But I assume even if she feels great, I assume she probably wants to get in shape. She was in really good shape when she was on top of her game, so maybe she wants to, get her cardio back up,
Oh, absolutely.
get in good shape again. Or she's been working out this whole time, which a lot of people do, especially athletes. They kind of stay in shape during their pregnancy and bounce right back. I don't know what's the deal with her, but I assume she won't be at Mania. Maybe she'll be there, say hi. Rhonda, I haven't heard nothing about her. If she was coming back, I'd imagine she'd be back already. So maybe she won't be back for this Mania, or they can still bring her out of nowhere, but I doubt it.
I mean, yeah, with somebody like a Becky Lynch, hopefully she'll be back, sooner rather than later. But definitely, there's going to be a place for her. It feels weird because it almost seems like at WrestleMania this year. It how can I say this? It almost doesn't feel like a big deal, and it's sad. It's sad to say that, but at the same time, it might be a matter of WWE setting themselves up, and again, in the positive, might be setting themselves up for things, further in the future, because that's when they can start getting more of their, and I'm not going to say more of their roster, because I mean, my God, how many great talents do they have already? They should be able to put on, a great card with the talent that they have, but there's still more big name talents available that may not be available for WrestleMania, but should be available later on down the line, for them, and probably for SummerSlam. But again, WrestleMania feels underwhelming at this point, which is really, really unfortunate.
At this point, now hindsight, as much as I like the Bianca and Sasha story, and I think it's gonna be cool, I almost feel like you could have put another heel champ, because Asuka has no heat behind her anyway. I feel like she probably shouldn't be champ right now. Not it's not her fault, but the way she's been booked, it's like she's not important. So
You're right.
maybe
You're right about that.
you know, I don't know, but I I feel like Bailey and Sasha's story was never finished. I thought they delayed it so that they can pay it off at WrestleMania. They never paid it off. Well, to me, it had more to go. It had more steam, and it just stopped. And I was happy when it stopped, but now I'm not, because now I realize that Bailey has just been forgotten about, and they're probably never gonna go back to that story.
Well, they,
Um,
I think they will. It's a matter that for Bailey, for this story between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, I'm disappointed with the way that it's being presented. I'm disappointed with how I'm watching the match, and I'm watching the story unfold, and it just kind of seems like what they're doing is it. It seems like very lazy booking by WWE, meaning putting them in endless tag matches, having them work with the tag team champions, which I don't like. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks should not be tag teaming. They shouldn't be losing matches. Again, it's all about having them win, particularly Bianca Belair, because Bianca's in a position where she can work against, you know, she could work against the Carmellas and all over, and be able to do that stuff. And she could be able to get herself over winning more matches, where Sasha Banks can kind of see it, and you can tell that there's a certain level of worry. Like she begins to worry a little bit. She's trying to play coy, she's trying to be cool, but you can kind of tell that deep down she's like, oh snap, I'm worried about what's coming up here. And it just kind of seems like they're trying to make them partners, make them friends, make them frenemies. And I'm like, no. What they've done is they've taken something that could have had a lot of steam to it, and now it's just nothing. It just feels like just another match. It feels like just another
Yeah.
match when it could have been a big time main event match, especially during this WrestleMania where for some oddball reason there's very little that feels like a big time main event match. And it's just
Well, I
falling
can tell you the
flat.
reason. The reason is a lot of the people have no steam behind them. Besides Roman Reigns, I'm gonna give Bianca. I'm gonna say that Bianca still has steam off the Rumble, so she's good. She's fine. Uh, Bobby Lashley has steam behind them. Um, there's just not a lot of people you would think. y- You know, I don't know, man. It's tricky, but I know that looking at the card, well, what I'm predicting in my head is gonna be the card, and the women is just like nothing feels important. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte should have been a thing on this at this Mania. In my opinion, Sasha and Bailey should have been a thing. We still could have gave um Bianca her moment. All you need is a heel champ. It doesn't have to be Bailey, Sasha. They're facing each other. If you would have got honestly, if Carmella when she was repackaged and she came up for the first time, I was that right there to me. I was like, okay, this is a main event player right here, and all you had to do was keep her that way. I mean, for
Nah,
me, I think you could have easily built her up as someone for Bianca to beat for the title.
well, but that's I think and listen, you're not wrong about setting her up to be somebody that Bianca can
And
beat.
it doesn't have to be her. I'm just saying
But
you had
but
two great matches set
but
up.
we'll use Carmella as the example. The reason why I don't think that a Carmella, and again, just for example's sake, Carmella versus Bianca Belair, the reason why that match would have not felt like a big deal is because you kind of know what the finish is already. Like in other words, you see the match and you're like, okay, in your heart of hearts, the outcome is never in doubt. You're hoping that when both of them get in there, they put on such a great match that you lose yourself in it. But at no point do you ever really think that all right, Bianca's not going to win. The reason why with Sasha Banks it makes more sense is because Sasha Banks over for the last what 5, 6, 7 years in the WWE has been the preeminent, one of the preeminent female wrestlers. So it makes sense. It's just a matter that the story that they're telling leading to WrestleMania is taking a lot of the steam off of what should be top bill main event match for WrestleMania. And again, it feels flat right now because they haven't done a good job, WWE has, of telling the story and making it important. Whereas Sasha Banks turns heel little by little, and it has nothing to do with any one particular moment. It's just a matter that she has to turn heelish in order to protect her title. It's all subtle stuff. But this whole thing with Reginald, and then they have with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and I'm like, being the tag team champions, they're just fodder for all the women's matches, like the Raw and SmackDown women's title matches. I'm like, I don't like that. It's it.
Well,
They're the tag team champions, and I get it. There's not a lot of great tag teams, but they screwed that up too because you could have easily had Jackson Baszler rematch against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez based off the match they had on NXT. And again, it was an okay match. The finish made no sense. Then after that, you create NXT women's tag team titles, which is not needed because NXT doesn't have enough tag teams to have a tag team champion. Then what do? They award the titles to Raquel and Dakota, which is the wrong thing to do. You don't award the titles to the heels to only have them then 90 minutes later lose it to Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon,
yeah. So these girls lose they lose a match, right?
which they were turned babyface
They so
because
okay.
Raquel and Dakota were turned babyface in that match.
So Raquel and Dakota lose a match only to be awarded titles that, in my opinion, coming off a loss, you should not be receiving a title coming off a loss.
They
It
should,
doesn't matter what you did a week before that or 2 weeks before that.
yeah, but
And why is anyone being awarded titles?
well,
Like,
Bad Bunny awarded the
well,
24/7.
that's different. That's Bad Bunny, who's not a wrestler. So I'm okay with that. But why is
Oh, God.
and it's a title that doesn't matter. But you're literally introducing a title that's gonna have some steam at first, as long as you keep it strong, right? All you have to do is not bury the title. They bury the title as soon as they introduce the title. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what happens. They bury it again. They bury it again on the same night. Don't get me started on this.
No. Listen,
Don't
you
get
and
me
I can
started.
have a whole diatribe because it was awful. It was awful. I thought to myself, if you're gonna go through this entire exercise to get to Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez, then what you should have done is you should have had Jackson Baszler cheat, beat the heels, and call it a day and move on. The way that the finish was set up, you basically turned Raquel and Dakota babyface. You flipped them. You flipped them babyface. And again, the story that you could have told is, damn it, the women's tag team titles are the only titles in the WWE that can be defended on all three brands. There's a reason for it, because they don't have enough established teams to have one women's tag team champions, much less two. So it, again, just ridiculous. You could have been able to give Raquel and Dakota a match at WrestleMania against Jackson Baszler. You can give NXT representation there. And then if you wanted to put a match with Finn Balor, and I don't think they will because of the 2-night, NXT takeover they're going to have WrestleMania week. But it's just not. It's just such an easy story to tell. And again, it's like, man, they convolute stuff, and they're just tripping over their own feet and trying to tell simple stories, because this is not complicated to do. It's just not. So, the WWE, unfortunately, and I know, I really, again, I want to like what I see, because they have a lot of talented wrestlers, but damn it, their creative is just not very good. It's just not. It sucks. And it's unfortunate, because damn it, you got that roster and you have just, you know, ridiculous capital, worldwide television, all this stuff. And yet when I see the shows, I'm like, man, y'all are just trying to overdo simple stories. Simple stories with great talent that can be told, and it's compelling, it's simple, people can follow it, and you pay it off at WrestleMania. Not difficult at all. And yet they've muddied it so much that now WrestleMania is just like, doesn't feel exciting at all. And that just sucks, because if you can't get up for WrestleMania, what the hell can you get up for? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just really bad. Just really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, what else is there to be said? I think we're good. I think we can get out of here.
Yeah, brother. So, well, we'll be seeing you guys, periodically throughout the week. Just, continue to send us the love, man. We're digging this to the subscribes. Again, give us the likes, give us the subscribes. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your dog. Wrestlebros.